Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Along the lines of commitment made by our fellow AFI members, I, on behalf of the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan, is pleased to share with you all the commitments made by the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan under the Maya Declaration. To begin with, in terms of creating an enabling environment to harness technology in improving and as a country which promotes gross national happiness more than gross domestic product, we have taken the middle path approach, meaning a Bhutan Mobile Payment System Committee was established by the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan with members from the banks, the mobile network operators, headed by the Royal Monetary Authority to further the development of technology-based financial services products. This methodology was chosen to ensure that our approach neither stifled innovation nor created regulatory gaps. We hope to approve the e-money issuer regulations and the branchless banking regulations by 2016. To move along, as far as regulatory framework is concerned, in spite of the fact that the Bhutanese economy in general and the financial system in particular is yet to recover from the aftermath of the 2012 rupee crisis, which was supposed to have been caused by excessive lending, the Royal Monetary Authority Board went ahead and approved the microfinance institution regulations, which is a clear indication to their commitment in pursuing the overall development of inclusive growth. Besides, at a meso level, the RMA established the Central Registry in June 2013 to facilitate access to finance, particularly by the SME and the unbanked sector. Thirdly, in terms of integrating financial literacy and consumer protection, we are actually in the third stage of our financial literacy program, which started since 2009. I would just like to summarize the three stages. The first phase consisted of financial literacy program, which went around the country covering all the 20 districts. In the second phase, we developed 6 different products targeting different demographic segments of the population. And to name one product, we created a music television for the youth, which consists the majority of our population. Through these programs, we managed to blend both financial literacy and consumer protection and ensured that the Bhutanese people made responsible financial decisions. By 2016, and in our third phase of the FLP program, we commit to work with the Ministry of Education to introduce financial education curriculum in different levels of education, starting with the primary level. Lastly, with the assistance from the Alliance for Financial Inclusion, we have developed an IT-based system to collect financial data on financial services usage from the financial institutions in Bhutan, which will facilitate RMA and other policymakers to make evidence-based policies, thereby targeting the right group with the right product and in a systematic manner. That sums up our commitment, and we hope to work hard in making these commitments a reality in the future. Thank you, and Trashigelek.
Now welcome on stage a member from People's Bank of China.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the People's Bank of China, that is PBOC, the central bank, I here make the commitment to Maya Declaration. Our commitment focuses on 4 policy areas: data and measurement, consumer protection, financial literacy, and national strategy. The concrete targets are, number one, implement the decision promoting financial inclusion made by the third plenary session of the 18th CPC Central Committee in 2013, last year. Design a set of financial inclusion indicators jointly with China Banking Regulatory Commission, CBRC, by this year, by 2014. Number two, promote the collaboration between public and private sector, improving the public awareness on financial inclusion. Number three, develop national financial inclusion strategy based on financial literacy strategy made in 2013, last year. Number four, set every September as PBOC's Financial Literacy Month. Nationally launch financial literacy campaigns in every March 15th, General Consumer Right Protection Day, and Financial Literacy Month. Organize financial institutions to send financial knowledges into communities, rural areas, universities, and etc. Number five, conduct financial competency survey every year since 2013, last year. Pilot in 7 provinces to collect baseline data. Number six, establish 12363 hotline for consumer inquiries and complaints in the whole country by this year. Promote the dispute resolution mechanism. Number seven, research on issues like internet finance, personal information protection, and bank card user protection. Arrange on-spot bank card examination this year. In the near future, PBOC will try to make joint commitment with CBRC and renew the above commitment. Thank you.
Continuing with new commitments, please welcome a representative from Comisión Nacional de Bancos y Seguros, Honduras.
Good afternoon. I will speak in Spanish, so please put your audio system. We are ready? Yes. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. En representación de la Comisión Nacional de Bancos y Seguros de Honduras, me complace anunciar los compromisos de país con la Declaración Maya a cumplirse en el año 2015. Los objetivos se plantearon básicamente para 2 dimensiones. En el tema de inclusión financiera, la Comisión se compromete a emitir una regulación específica en el tema relacionado con la regulación de los servicios financieros móviles y empezamos a generar la base de datos para generar el primer informe de inclusión financiera, con el cual pretendemos generar información que le sea útil tanto al ente regulador como a las mismas instituciones para que puedan diseñar sus productos financieros de una mejor forma. Esperamos el próximo año poder compartir con ustedes nuestras experiencias, pero sobre todo compartir los avances y esperamos el éxito de la normativa y de nuestro primer informe de inclusión financiera. Buenas tardes, muchas gracias.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage a member from Central Bank of Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear friends, on behalf of the Bank of Russia, I will make the commitment on my declaration. Bank of Russia Financial Inclusion Priorities. Financial inclusion issues have recently gained considerable attention in the Russian Federation. Legislative amendments have been made in order to create sound environment for a liberating national payment system, provide further access to financial services, develop financial markets, microfinance, banking, insurance, etc. Accounting to the federal law on the Central Bank of Russian Federation, Bank of Russia is responsible for financial market development and its stability. Financial inclusion plays one of the key roles in this process. Bank of Russia will further increase financial inclusion, particularly by implementing innovative approaches to consumer financial protection, including widespread adoption of responsible lending conduct and the creation of financial ombudsman service, adopting best practices of handling financial services complaints, development of financial inclusion evaluation system and indicators under the recommendation of G20 and the Alliance for Financial Inclusion, enhancing financial literacy for population and micro, small, and medium-sized entrepreneurs. The fulfillment of these commitments will be ensured by including the financial inclusion stream in the financial market development strategy for the period from 2015 till 2017. Thank you.
I now invite a representative from Banco Central de Timor Leste.
Dear friends, in a nation with a high rate of financial exclusion, Banco Central de Timor-Leste commits itself to bringing the benefits of financial services to the many unbanked people and communities throughout the country. Banco Central demonstrates its commitment to financial inclusion through the recent publication of a master plan for the development of the financial sector 2014-2025 and the forthcoming strategy for the development of the Timor-Leste payment system. The master plan for the financial sector development recognizes that not only is there a need to expand the supply of financial services, but that there also needs to be a growing demand for those services. Banco Central de Timor-Leste commits to the 6 broad strategies set out in the master plan to address these issues, which may be summarized: fostering financial intermediation through legal and administrative arrangement, improve record-keeping and accounting, and the introduction of a credit guarantee scheme to encourage borrowing for economic development. Modernizing the payment system through the introduction of an automatic transfer system and enacting a payment law which will form the foundation on which future digital financial services will be built. Widening the range of the products available for managing economic risk through continuing to develop a broad range of financial products with a focus on micro savings and micro insurance for people in the rural areas. Building public confidence and participation in the financial system through appropriate licensing, regulation, and supervision by introducing codes of conduct, consumer protection rules, and considering the possibility of a deposit guarantee scheme and improving financial literacy. Building capacity and developing talent through relevant education and training to accelerate the development of people at all levels of the financial system, from regulators and supervisors through the commercial and microfinance entity to the public at large. Filling the current gap in the supply of long-term capital, a medium-term objective once the basic foundation for a financial architecture are in place. Banco Central de Timor-Leste is committed to implementing these strategies by completing the following short-term initiatives. 1. Promote the extensive use of digital financial products and to facilitate the introduction of agent banking arrangement to cover 75% of sub-districts by 2016. review the regulatory framework for consumer protection by early 2015, and introduce appropriate provisions, including into planned amendments to the banking law by the end of 2015. 3, publish a financial literacy strategic plan and launch a pilot national financial literacy campaign by the end of 2015. 4, complete a study of SME finance by the end of 2014 and introduce a pilot credit guarantee scheme by May 2015. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, our colleagues from BCERO are unable to join us here today, but we send our congratulations to them for taking this important step to fully achieving their national financial inclusion. Well, that brings us to the end of the new commitments to the Maya Declaration. We move on now to the updated commitments. Please welcome on stage Banco de Mozambique.
Good afternoon. As it was said, we already presented our commitment, which is based on 4 pillars. Today, what we want to do is to present concrete targets for the next 5 years. But just as a matter of information, the pillars we're talking about has to do with the access, dissemination, and the usage of financial service. Number 2 is the regulatory environment. Number 3 is building comprehensive financial inclusion database. Number 4 is financial literacy and consumer protection. So the concrete targets for the next 5 years are: number 1, we want to develop a regulatory framework on payment system operator and payment system service providers during this year. 2, approve and implement the urgent banking regulatory framework this year. 3, develop and implement a structural financial literacy program this year. 4, we want to approve the revision of the central bank notice on the banking charge that define a set of product and service that must be provided to the customer free of charge this year. Following, we want to approve a central bank notice that protects the mobile financial service customer this year. Following, we want to approve a central bank notice which established that commercial bank and the mobile financial service providers must request no objection before launching new electronic payment products and services this year. We want to launch the National Financial Inclusion Strategy in 2015. We want to complete a demand-side survey on the access and the usage of financial service in 2015. Finally, we want to increase the level of financial inclusion in the country to 50%. There is a mistake on the report we presented to us. Is 50% on 2019. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage a representative from Banco Central del Paraguay.
Dear colleagues and friends, good afternoon.
The Central Bank of Paraguay has undertaken extensive reform measures and initiated the process of defining a financial inclusion agenda. A new modernized payment system with both RTGS and also ACH for low-value payments went live November last year. On March 2014, the board of the Central Bank has issued a new regulation on mobile payment services. The government has stressed that great efforts would be dedicated to achieve inclusive growth and poverty reduction. Being financial inclusion a mean to those ends, we gathered a lot of consensus about the urgency to implement a national strategy. The government reached a high level of support. Last July, the President of the Republic created, by decree, the National Financial Inclusion Committee, which is composed of the heads of the Central Bank, Ministry of Finance, the Planning Secretariat, and the Cooperative Regulator. This committee has already appointed an executive secretary, and under his coordination, technical working groups are developing the national strategy document. We're very confident that a national strategy on financial inclusion will be officially launched before the end of the year. So in summary, the Central Bank of Paraguay restates its commitment to actively engage in the corporate governance and implementation of the National Financial Inclusion Strategy to reach to 50% the deposits to GDP ratio in year 2015, and we hope we will have a new set of measurable targets very soon. Also, to continue supporting our Ministry of Education in providing nationwide training to teachers in the implementation of the economic and financial course, which is part of the official curriculum. Thank you.
And now we will welcome our final representative from Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago with the updated commitments.
Good evening, colleagues. So last year, I stood and on behalf of the Governor and the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago and my country, we made our commitments. Today, I will give you an update, and for those of you who were mesmerized by Governor yesterday, you would have heard part of that update. So first of all, we intended to transform our National Financial Literacy Program into a national training institute, and yesterday, here we launched FIDA. So that was done. Secondly, and I should just say, FIDA is a registered legal entity with its own board, its own management structure, and we are staffing FIDA. So we're well on the way. Secondly, develop a national financial inclusion strategy based on the G20 principles. That is being done, of which FIDA is an important part, as well as the expansion of our Financial Services Ombudsman Scheme, where we are improving legislation, our mandate will be expanded. Thirdly, provide technical support to at least one Caribbean country. Yesterday you saw that we signed MOUs with 2 countries. So we went one step further and we signed agreements with Suriname and Guyana. So I think that deserves applause. And then our other targets are a little more medium term in terms of their orientation, because we talk about by 2017, implementing financial education programs to benefit 25% of the vulnerable population. So you know we did our 2013 survey. We have carefully assessed the survey results. We have made changes to the interventions. We have deepened the interventions so that we are moving towards this target. Similarly, reduced the unbanked population to 20% by 2017 and increased to at least 60% of the population those persons with high financial capability. So we are closely monitoring these, and at next year's GPF, we will update you further. Thank you for your attention.